Okay, to understand what outbound sourcing is, first you have to understand the difference between inbound sourcing and outbound sourcing. And this is the way we categorize our sourcing here at Archer Hires. Inbound sourcing is sort of the tried and true method that most companies fall back on, which is posting ads on job boards, waiting until somebody finds those ads, hoping that somebody applies once they find that ad, and then hoping also that you're one of the first 1, 2, or 3 people that respond when candidates say they're interested in your job, because in this world of one-click applications, most people have applied to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 jobs. And if you're not one of the first 1, 2, or 3 people to respond to them, they are probably going to ghost you when you reach out to schedule an interview. So that's inbound sourcing, pretty simple. Outbound sourcing is essentially the opposite of that. And as we saw the diminishing returns of inbound sourcing coming down the pipe, we decided we had to come up with another solution. Well, what are the diminishing returns? Well, first of all, the number of ads being posted now is astronomical. We just did a recent search in San Diego, California for a hospice nurse. And in doing our preliminary investigation as to what it would take to fill the position, we searched a 25-mile radius on Indeed to find out how many hospice nurse jobs were available. It pulled up 41 pages of jobs, 611 job opportunities if you typed in hospice nurse with a 25-mile radius in San Diego. So what are the odds of your ad being found, and how long you're going to have to wait for someone to find it? And what are the odds of getting to those people as quickly as your competitors might be? That's the diminishing returns of inbound sourcing. So we developed outbound sourcing, and this is something we saw coming a long time ago. We've been working on it for well over a year now, and we've investigated multiple platforms. We've spent an exorbitant amount of money trying to figure out how to make it work and to combine programs and platforms and so forth to be able to do what we do. Outbound sourcing is essentially the opposite of inbound sourcing. So what does that mean? Well, it's not waiting. That's the first thing. What we do is very proactively create lists. We sift through tons and tons and tons of data, and we assemble lists of potential candidates, and we filter those lists to make sure that they're spot on as far as targeting goes for qualified candidates. And then we craft very meticulously designed messages, and we directly message those people on platforms on which we're sure to get responses. So we send texts, we work through social media, we use things like LinkedIn. We also happen to get notifications every time somebody makes a change to their resume on one of the job boards. So if it happens to be the type of person that we're looking for exactly, we can respond with a very specific message inviting them to apply for the jobs that we're recruiting for. So that's outbound sourcing. So inbound sourcing is placing ads, waiting, hoping someone applies. Outbound sourcing is going very directly after targeted candidates with very specific messages and getting immediate responses. What's the difference in the time? Well, we worked with a company out of Houston who was trying to hire a physical therapist, and they had been working with 2 different agencies. They had been posting ads on Indeed for almost 4 months. They had 0 applicants. Within 10 days, we had 3 different physical therapists scheduled for interviews with them, and I think it took us 5 days to get those candidates. So typically with outbound sourcing, we will get responses from candidates within 3 to 5 days. It takes a little bit of time to set up the searches, but once they're set up and the mechanisms are in place, we get responses immediately. So that's inbound versus outbound sourcing.